What you chirping at me for, Katie? You chirping at me? You chirping at me? You chirping at me, Katie? Why are you chirping at me? Katie's talking to me. What you saying? What you saying? All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the stream tonight. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome back into the study sesh. Today we're going to be doing some more C programming, a modern approach, chapter 9. Going to be jumping in to this one again. Excited to be here. Let me know if you're what you're working on, what you guys are doing. If you decide to join me here. Oh. Oops. I'm going to do that. So annoying. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the stream today. Hope you're having a good one. We're back. Going to be doing some programming here in C, Programming a Modern Approach, Chapter 9. Going to be working on these programming projects today. Seeing if we can complete maybe half of them. I think there's 8 total, so maybe we can try to bang out 4. Shout out Chucky from our stream 2 days ago who donated a tenner. Oh, come on. Stop with the freezing. So annoying. It's gonna glitch now. Yo, come on. What the heck? Cool, we're back. We're good. Okay, cool. Let's get into this, you guys. All right. Number 1. Chapter 9, Programming Projects. Let's go ahead and, for I in 1 to 8 do Migder called chapter 9 programming project underscore $I. Oh, so it does do the do. We don't need the do then, okay. Then we'll just rename this to Chapter 9 Programming Projects. Oh my gosh. Let's get into here. Let's bring up for I in 1 to 8 touch chapter 9 program project. Okay. Let's get in here. All right. Let's see what we can do. All right. Where's everybody at? Where's everybody? Dang. Brutal. Stream dead. Okay. Write a program that asks the user to enter a series of integers which it stores in an array, then sorts the integers by calling the function selection sort. When given an array with n elements, selection sort must do the following. Search the array to find the largest element, then move it to the last position in the array. Call itself recursively to store the first n minus 1 elements of the array. Okay. So let's just include our standard IO .h. Let's go int main void return 0. Okay, so we're going to printf and say enter a series right? And then what we'll do is we need to go and call enter an integer. Okay, yeah, enter a series of integers. And then we're gonna call int nums, and we'll say this is like that. We need to establish a size before we insert values, right? How would you like we can't initialize a value here because we don't know how many they're gonna put in, but or we could set a hard cap. But what if I'd like to make it dynamic? I'd have to like allocate. We haven't. That's good. I don't know. So I guess we'll just say a series of 10 integers. And we'll put a size 10 here. And then we'll go while. We need to say while the while get char does not equal to 0. No, it's quote \n. So we need to receive this value though. So we have to say but this will grab one character at a time, or is it space delimited? Get char. Take a single character. Okay, it just gives you the single one. Okay, so we need to do something a little bit better than this. We don't want to get single characters. We'll have to say while my headphones are dying. Come on, so unlucky timing. I'll just say while scan f oh no, let's just do this. For int I equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, scan f. Let's read in values into nums, index of I. Right, and then so scanf, let me look up. I always forget the the spacing that comes at the end is allowed. Okay. Okay, so we're going to read these values into the array. And then what's our goal here overall? Then sorts the integers by calling the function selection sort. Okay. So I want to allow for spacing out front, so I can clear the spacing out front. Take out the trailing space. We'll see. Can't really remember. Okay, then if we go, so now what we want to do is call a function called, which will return okay, so we're going to return a int array size 10. This is equal to, no, so we're going to need a function prototype, right, for, this is going to return an integer, but an array of integers. Struggling here with this. So if we are, I've been coding in Python again. So okay, so we are trying to okay, so I never got an example of returning an array, right? So that's what I'm currently trying to figure out here. Okay, so we want to call a function called selection sort, and we're going to pass, well, obviously we need to define the function up above, so I guess for use returns an int selection sort on an int array of nums of some unknown length. Right? Is that how you specify that? And then we have the length int r length. Right, like this. And so yeah. So I'm gonna make a int r length is equal to 10. Put r length here. Right. And then what we'll do is we have the selection sort here now. What we're gonna say is for int I equals to 0, I less than r length, I plus plus, open this up, we'll put here let's just make this I mean, this needs to be the lowest value in the array. Right? It would be better to make this the smallest value in the array, but we're not doing the first pass through to find the smallest value. So we'll make max equal to the first value in the array. Right? We'll index from 1 to the array length, and then we'll set if max greater than nums index of I, then max is equal to nums so could I just do this? Max greater than nums index I, then max equals to nums index of I, else continue. Something like this. So if the max is greater than the numbers index of I, it becomes the max at numbers. The max becomes numbers index I. No, sorry, other way around. If max is less than the numbers index, then max becomes this. Let's continue. Okay. This statement works, right? Yeah, well, I think it's, hold on, I'm trying to see if this is a correct way of doing that. no, okay, so it doesn't want us to do that. Oh, because we can return a value. So we can say like maybe max is equal to, right? Whatever, I'll just use this statement. I'm not going to try to force this crap. If max is less than nums index of I, then max equal to nums index of I, else I mean, we don't even need this. This will just happen, right? Something like that. So that'll find the max value every time we loop. We'll call this function the first time. And then what we do is we set max value. We also need to get the index of the max value because we need to swap the places of that value with the index. Okay, so int max equals to this, and max index equals to 0. And so what we'll do is we'll open this up. We'll take this statement, put it into here, but also say max idx is equal to I. And then what we'll do is we will say nums at index of int temp equals to nums at index of the max idx. So we're going to copy the maximum. We already have the max value that we're copying. So we don't need to actually copy the max. We just need to swap the last value. So we just need to swap the last value. So nums at index of the array length is equal to the max value, right? But we need whatever value is at this spot first. So int temp equals to nums index array length. We set this, and then we set nums index of the max index is equal to the temp value. So this will save the temporary value, which is the last value in the array. Right, but this is 0 index, so it's got to be array length less than 1. The nums at array length less than 1, the last number in the array length, is equal to the max. And we set the max value to the last value in the array. And then we save where the max value was originally in the array, the temporary, which was the previous last value. So let me write all the comment. Get the last value. Save the max as the last value. write the previous last into the gap. Okay, so then now what we're going to do is recursively call selection sort on nums and array length less than 1. And we're going to return the nums array. So then we call int result of size array length is equal to selection sort of nums and array length. For int I okay. Let's try it. This could get ugly here, boys. I don't know. So this is returning. Nothing's happening to the array. How would we keep the memory? So we pass by reference. Or pass by it's copied in the function. returns a value. So you can start. Initialize an variable size object like this. Array initializer must be an initializer list or wide. An array initializer must be an initializer list or wide string literal. Maybe it's just res. So if it modifies array passed in, it stays local. Doesn't return. Okay, so it is pointing to the same array in memory. Got you. So we're just returning an array, res. Passing it down. And this just returns an integer. Returns 0. Range. This is returning. So it doesn't like this part here. Clips, how's this book? I'm thinking about getting it. I don't really have much programming experience. Yeah, you should dive on in. I've been solving all the problems live on my stream here, so and reading the book live in my channel, so you can read along with me if you want. I have it all uploaded here, so feel free. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so it's our scanf. I guess you can read in spaces before, potentially, right? So let's do this. This. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dang it. Come on. So it's doing me segmentation fault. Yeah, I found an electronic one here that I've been reading off of. I don't really. Hey Desert, how's it going? No, I graduated about 4 years ago. Cause I've been done with into like a into like done with medical school. Maybe. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so we are screwing up the scanf here. So what if we just read in with no space? Like, what if we just do that? Enter zeros numbers. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Segmentation fault. Segmentation fault. Need to establish them as values though. So maybe we set them all equal to 0. Right? So that we can put stuff in there. But you can't. Variable size object may not be initialized. I thought you could do that. Trash. I'm not getting. Well, if array length is not a compile time constant, then this is not a VLA. Oh. Oh, because. even though n equals to 10. Option 0 it manually, or better. Oh, see, it hasn't given us a lot of tools yet. It's still giving us pretty vague stuff. So, okay, we'll just have to use. It's kind of dumb. Let's go 10, I guess. There. Segmentation fault. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, so it's not that. Okay, so I think this is okay. Let me do this. Let's put our print temporarily in front of the selection sort function. And let's see if it will give us back our entry. Okay, okay. We're not crazy. Okay, so that part's working. So then the selection sort is going wrong. Okay, so we say the max is equal to the first value in the array and the max index at that value. The index for that value is 0, right? We have I is equal to 1 up until I reaches the array length, so the last item inclusive. We're going to say if the max is greater or is less than the current number we're indexing over, then we're going to set max to that value.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
I put it of us so loud.
Yeah, you? Absolutely.
Okay. Nice. Sorry, guys. Thanks so much for the, who is that? Kangaroo, thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you so much on Twitch. Hats off to you, my friend. Thanks for joining me here. Hey, Total Red. What's going on? So we get the last value. We call this, but oh, we need a condition here, right? Of when to return. Okay, so if the array length value, so if our length is equal to 0, right, we need to return 0, right? I don't know why I did that. So now if the R length ever gets down to 0, meaning that this is the final value, or maybe if it gets to -1, because we would do want to let's just try 0 first. Oh, yeah. What? Warning, non-void function does not return a value in all control paths. Oh. Because we're not returning a statement in this logic path, just in the top one. Oh, so it does return an int, though. Maybe that's fine that we get that warning then. That's just a warning of potentially recursion here. Oh, let's go. Come on. Don't mess with me. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. All right. Man, dude, we solved the recursion problem. Let's go. That's actually really hype. I did not think that was going to happen. We're 6 subs away from 4.5, Tim. Let's grind. We're almost there, guys. If you haven't subbed on YouTube, join the family. Welcome. My name is Michael. I graduated 4 years ago with a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I got a job as a chemist right after college, and I've been working there for 4 years since. It's been cool. Kind of chemistry and biology a little mixed together, mostly chemistry though. It's been a lot of fun so far, and I've been teaching myself how to code independently after my 9-to-5 job for the past year and a half. We really were grinding for the first year, almost pretty much every day streams, and then this past half year we've kind of been doing a little bit more relaxed as we kind of got the fundamentals, and it's taking a little bit more energy to learn harder and harder topics here. Even though we're not really learning that hard topics, we're learning C, but C is just a lot of brain power has to go into it to learn a lot of this new stuff. Okay, anywho, that one was the first one. Nice, we got it. Number 2. Feels good. Did not think, I did not know if I was going to be able to do that one. All right, let's see what's next. Modified Programming Project 5 from Chapter 5. Oh, I hate these ones. I have to go back and learn what I wrote back all the way then. Chapter 5. Hold on, where were we? We're here. So Chapter 5, Programming Project 5. Oh, tax calculation. No. Don't do this to me. Okay, so we gave an income and a tax. Enter your taxable income. If the income is less than this, you calculate tax. Else, if it's this between this range, you calculate this tax. Got you. Got certain tax bands with some minimal fee carryover. Okay. Modified Programming Project 5 from Chapter 5 so that it uses a function to compute the amount of tax due. When passed an amount of taxable income, the function will return the tax due. Oh, come on, this is jeez. Int calc tax. This is not that bad. We're gonna pass in. Oh no, it's gonna give us a float, right? Maybe we'll do a double. It doesn't look like it needs to be a double. And then we'll set this to be float income. Ooh, what am I doing? Trolling. And then what we'll do is we'll take our this guy here, bring this out here. going to return tax. We can remove this. And then we'll say in tax equals to 0. Return tax at the end. We have income. We save it in income. We call float calc tax on the income. Sorry. And then we're going to printf and say %f and put in the tax. Okay, let's see if that worked. Can we one shot it? Let's see if we can. We need like sound effects, like the one shot. Hold on. I need like a soundboard. No, not a gunshot. I want like the one shot, like the bah! It's like a bah! No. Anyone know what I'm talking about? It's like it's a popular sound effect nowadays. It's like a scream, I think. No, it's like no, it's not a scream. I don't want a scream. Ooh, bah! No, that was not it. Come on. No, that's not it. What the heck? What's that? Dang it. Can't anybody know what it is? If you had to learn again, would you have learned C first or stick with Python first? Honestly, probably Python first because just all the packages makes it really easy to kind of put some ideas to life. Whereas C, it's just pretty raw. Now, I haven't gotten too deep into some of the packages that C has or libraries that people have made, but with Python, it's really easy just to kind of pick up on someone's work or whatever, right? Reading some docs and quickly, bringing some ideas to life. Mike can be the first person besides the author to complete every problem in the book. Bro, it's more of a question about pedagogy and how people should learn programming. Harvard seems to think easy people in Python retains more studying longer, seems longer. I think I just like Python at first because of my biological chemistry background. um, I did Python first and don't regret it. It's practically pseudocode made with some parentheses and colons. The C code is definitely more complex, but it's nice to challenge yourself as a starter. Yeah, exactly. I like that. My university does Python for freshmen and C and sophomore level courses. We're in the sophomore group. Okay, so let's run this one. Oh, we one-shotted it. Let's go. Yo, we one-shotted this thing. Nice. I need that sound effect. Funny, sudden sound effects. Bro, no. I know what screams. No. What are these? You're trash. um, that was not bad. See, okay, we're in the modern ones now. Maybe it's here. What was that? Okay, that one's not bad. These are okay. We're in like the TikTok sounds. It's not what I'm looking for yet. Not what I'm looking for. No. Um, no. No. Alright, whatever. I'll have to do it later. Trash. Okay. That was number 2. Number 3. Modify program project 9 from chapter 8 so it includes the following functions. Oh, no. Stop making me go back. Program project 9 from chapter 8. Oh my gosh. Trolling. What? Come on. Okay, so I got a random time with my seed being null here. A random using time null. A direction. Oh, this was this one. This one sucked. Oh, yeah, I remember this one. Nah, this one sucks. But we're just modifying into function calls, I think. We're not really doing anything crazy. So it includes the following functions. Yeah, here we go. We've already done the hard work. Now we're just making functions. Okay, we're going to do void generate random walk. Char walk 10 by 10. Let's get some sounds going. Some grooves. This might be on 2 times speed. Hold on. No, it's not normal. Okay. I've had an internship in the past 2 summers on again in summer 26, but a new company hoping to convert full time. Tim's gonna finally hope. Is this gonna be your final internship, Tim, before full time workforce? Going full time? Put on a little bit of chapstick. We're 5 subs away from 2,500, boys. 5 away. Let's keep going. Okay, generate random walk. So this is the print. This is the random walk here. Char equals B. Row 0, column 0. Row 0 equals to A. While char does not equal to Z. Okay, so we set it to B. We save A as the first value. We move char forward until it hits Z. And we randomly walk and do the thing. Okay, gotcha. So this is all part of the random walk. And we can pass in the matrix into the random walk. And this is where we'll start the function here. Now, because this goes on direction index as well. So all this has to be in the function. Okay. That's fine by me. Take this out. Ooh. Put this here. Bring this back. So that does that. This will return nothing. We then have a function that returns something called, or no, we'll have int print I'll do it for you. Nah, we'll do it. Nah, we'll do it for you. It's not print stop, Mike, chill. Alright, we gotta chill. Okay, so print matrix given a char matrix that is size 10 by 10. And in here, we're gonna just do this for loop. Right? Cool. Now this is gonna be size. So I guess we'll do or in size here. I'll change this to size. Size. We might have that macro somewhere. Here's what, yeah, we do. Okay, so let's change all of these to just lowercase size. Oh, that's why I had that there. Oh, yeah, I can keep that then. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so then that prints values. Now here, what we're gonna do is call first calls generate when walk, which initializes array to contain the characters and replaces some of the characters by A through Z. Okay, so yeah, so the main, all it does is call that, and then the generate walk initializes the array and does all the filling. So we just call generate random walk, but we need a matrix to pass in there. So int matrix 10 by 10. 10 by 10. We're going to pass in the matrix into here. And then we're going to call print matrix onto the matrix as well. Return 0 here. Let's try this. You're not that guy, pal. Incompatible pointer type and pressing intended parameter type char pointer 10. Incompatible pointer types. You're passing int 10 by 10 to parameter of type char star 10. in the generate random walk. Argument, passing argument to parameter quote walk here. Incompatible pointer type, passing parameter. Expecting a size 10 by 10. That's expecting. Oh, so this is maybe we just say. This is just expecting an array of 10 by 10. Oh, sorry. Well, no, this just, I mean, maybe we don't even call this. This just creates a matrix. No, we need to pass in a matrix, though. Which initially is the array to contain those. Okay, so we're still getting array as incomplete element of char. Hmm. Oh, char here. Array has incompatible element type char on line 9. So void, we would take in char matrix. I pass in char matrix 10 by 10 into here. Has incomplete element type char array. What does this mean? Why do you think we're learning it, bro? That's the stupidest comment I've ever heard. Rage baited. So they're passing a 2D array to a function. Let's know what size every element is except the first. Okay, so we just have to specify the size of the number of columns in the generate random walk. Specify both dimensions. Can we just do 10 by 10 in this specifically? That should fix that. Yeah, nice. Cool. Do it again. Nice. We should be getting the same array each time because we're getting the same. No, we're getting different seed based on time. Nice. Cool. All right, that's 3. I'm still getting used to. Chapter 8 was on arrays, so we're still getting used to how to declare arrays and what they are. Because Python just handles the lists are just so handy with how they automatically do stuff for you, and all you have to worry about is just appending, popping, indexing, everything is handled behind the scenes, whereas this is just much more static, or like with a little bit more rules to them. So we're trying to wrap our head around those here. Okay, number 4. Okay, Modified Programming Project 16 from Chapter 8. 16. We did a lot of programming projects. Okay. So that includes the following functions. Void read word, which takes in an array of integers of size 26. Okay, so we have alphabet first and alphabet second. Enter the first word. We get every character until we hit the end. We lowercase the character. If it's alpha, we lowercase the character, mod it by 26 to get what place it is in the alphabet, and increase that count by 1 for that index place in the alphabet first. And in the second word, we do the same thing, and then we compare if the words are the same by looping through the counts, basically, kind of like creating our own almost like hash map-ish, but like an array map. Well, not actually, like, because we're linearly looping again, right? So it's just like nothing to do with hash, but it's just kind of like that counting concept. Okay, so we want to just do functions here again. Easy enough. So we have void read word int count size 26. And this function, main will call rewords twice, once for each of the 2 words entered by the user. Okay, cool. So rewords will do this thing here. And then we'll call counts to be this. And then we have this, enter word, enter second word. We call read word on the abet first array. And then we do it again, but for the second array. Right. And then we have equal array for bool. Which takes in int counts 1, size 26, and int counts 2, size 26. And then what we're going to do, get rid of this, take this, here, do that there, counts 1 and counts 2. here for now. So we'll return false. We'll include the standard bool. We'll return false. Also, we're going to return true here. Call reword. We'll say if equal array on ABAT first, ABAT second, then printf what's going on? Why is it doing that? Get rid of that. Paste that there. Jeez. Else print this. Return 0. Okay, so let's try this problem now. Okay, so this is going to be... Oh, my bad. Oh, whoops. We do that again, I think. Oh, get out of here. I don't know. What happened? I want to get rid of this. How do I get rid of this? I don't know. Okay. So this is 35. This is int. So that's 26. How much time? Math for you. Nice. Okay, cool. That works now. Cool. Just got to remember my types match on the pass through. Done that twice now. Okay, not bad, not bad. Not making too bad of time here. Maybe we'll do one more if this one's not too hard. Hey, 4 more subs, 4 more subs. We're almost there, boys. Thanks for all the love on the stream. Thanks so much for the sub. Next program. Appreciate you subscribing on YouTube. Thanks, dude. Thanks for coming in. Okay, number 5 is modify the programming project 17 from chapter 8 so that it includes the following functions. Okay, so programming project number 17 from chapter 8. Okay, so this one, this program creates a magic square of specified size. The size must be an odd number between 1 and 99. Enter the size of magic square. Size by size. So size is less than 1 or greater than 99. Or while size is. And size mod 2. So it has to be even. You have to continue. Okay, you enter. Then you define matrix as size by size. You loop over the matrix. You set all the values to 0. You say row is 0, column equals to size over 2. So you just set the first half. So you define at row 0 and column size over 2, a half the array, you set it to 1. And then for I equals to 2, while I is less than or equal to size by size. What was the magic square again? After obtaining the number n from the user, main will call create magic square, passing an n by n array that is declared inside main. Create magic square will fill the array with the numbers of 1, 2, up to n squared as described in the original project. Oh, I think it just goes up and to the right or something like that, and until it hits some sort of. If it doesn't, then it goes like directly below in the bottom of the column or something like that. It was some funky little, like, fill the multi-dimensional array kind of thing. Okay, so we just need functions then for this. So we have void create magic square, which takes an int n char. This one was hard, I remember. Char magic square and an n by n matrix. So this, after obtaining the number n from the user, okay, so this stays in main. We create a matrix passing it an n by n array that's declared inside main. So it will fill the numbers Okay, so I think we're gonna do this here. This goes into the create magic square function, where I believe n is the size here. I think we want to make size be n. Yeah. Oh, no. Where's the replace all? There we go. Okay, so now we have this. I'm not a computer scientist, no. I'm learning. I'm a physical scientist. I have a degree in human biology, minor in chemistry. I work as a chemist for a biotech company. I'm a scientist too in formulations and manufacturing of chemical products. like control devices for diagnostics and patients and things like that. Analytical testing, stuff like that. Yeah. So we have create magic square, which creates the magic square. And then we have void print magic square, which takes an integer n, a char magic square, which is size n by n. So matrix, this is a char matrix. We go over, we set equal to then we have this here. Wait. Yeah, and then we're gonna call create magic square given n and matrix. Then we're gonna call print magic square given n and the matrix. And then we're gonna take this here and put this in this function here. Ooh. Square. Okay, so I think that that'll do it. Oh, whoops. Might have one-shotted it though. This program creates a magic square, specify enter magic square. Let's say 15. Oh, it has to be odd. My bad. What? Maybe that's supposed to be 0. Eh. What? What's this problem from chapter 8? Oh yeah, okay, so we have Takes in chars. So if we set it takes in this. We print matrix. Stop doing that. What broke? What broke here? $46. Where's that even coming from? $46. I'm confused. Let me delete this. They should still be all the same. So this fills in the matrix with zeros. And then does all this depending on the size. And the size is the value that the user puts in. I want to see something. Hold on. Oh. I'm not sure why it wants us to do char magic square. Because our int can be anywhere from 0 to 99. That should fit a char though. But I goes up to n by n. So we try to save the value of I here, which goes way beyond the limit of the char in the declaration type, right? So if we just change this to int and int here, we did an int matrix, we did zeros like we were supposed to, and we compile this. Now it runs. Because it goes up to n by n, right? And so if you do like 99 or even 11, it's doing 11 by 11. So I guess it would be 121, right? Whatever. So it would still fit. Okay. Nice. That was 5. Let's see. 6 says, write a function that computes the value of the following polynomial. Write a program that asks the user to enter a value for x, calls the function to compute the value of the polynomial, and then displays the value returned by the function. Okay, so let's go like this. Let's go ahead and in our number 6. What we'll do is we'll say include the standard io.h header file. Let's do int main. This will probably be our last one for today, because 7 and 8 look kind of long. Pause. 4 more subs, guys. If you're watching, aren't subscribed, we're 4 subs away from 25 or 4,500. We got 20 people in here. Come on, he's got 5 people. Come on, or 4 people. Come on, where you guys at? Oh. Where's everybody at? Where your clothes at? Where your clothes at? Okay. This one shouldn't be too hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to define a power function. I know that there's like clever ways to maybe do it, but I'm just going to do this given a value of the base. So int base. No. Yeah, you need to give it a power, and you need to give it the base value to multiply it by how many times the power in a loop. So int base and int pow exponent, and we're gonna open this up. Say int res is equal to 0. We're going to say for int I equals to 0, I less than the exponent, I is less than the exponent, I plus plus. We're going to open this loop up, and we're going to go res multiply equal by so it actually is the base, right? Res is equal to the base times the base no, I don't think that's right. So I'm slowing down. Brain's getting tired, boys. A full day of work and now coding. We're cooked. So our resolution will be, to a 0 power will be 1, right? So that's the base case value you can have for a power. And then you multiply it by the base for every amount of exponent time you want to do it, right? So like 5 to the power of 3 would be 5 times 5 times 5. So 5 in the first loop times 5 in the second loop times 5 in the third loop. 2. I think that would work. Maybe? Blah, 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 blah. So if we say we need to compute the following polynomial, so we need to compute, enter a value, ask the user to enter a value. So we're going to print f, say enter a value between, I don't know, enter an integer 1 something like this. We'll have an int num x, scanf and read the integer into x, and then we're going to call return 3. So we need to return a value here. So 3 times the power of base of x and 5 plus 2 times the power of x and 4 I mean, we could use a loop here and use I as our value of the, so if we'll say So I is going to equal to... Oh no, but we have different values of coefficients. I mean, I could save them in an array, but I don't really want to. Where'd you go? There you are. Less than 5 times the power of our x and 3 minus x or power x 2 plus 7 times 7 times x less than 6 . Okay, so we multiply the... Let's see, I guess. Always. Always. Oh, when I'm printing. Polynomial. Let's test this. Desmos, where art thou? Let's test it out. X equals to 5. 3x to the power of 5 plus 2x to the power of 4 minus 5x to the power of 3 minus x squared plus 7x minus 6. How can I solve this? How do you plug that in? Oh, whatever. So dumb. I don't know the hacks. Yes, we got it right. 10,004. Nice. Cool. I wasn't. Yeah, that is right. Nice. Okay. Sweet. And then we have more power. This power function right here we can probably use. It's going to give us another power function that you can use The power function in section 9.6 can be made faster by having it calculate x to the power of n in a different way. First, we need to notice that n is a power of 2. Then x to the power of n can be computed by squaring. For example, x to the power of 4 is the square of x squared. So x to the power of 4 can be computed by using only 2 multiplications instead of 3. As it happens, this technique can be used even when n is not a power of 2. If n is even, we use the formula of this, where x to the power of n is equal to x to the power of n over 2 squared. If n is odd, then x to the power of n is equal to x times x to the power of n minus 1. Write a recursive function that computes x to the power of n. The recursive ends when x equals 0, in which case the function returns 1. To test the function, write a program that asks the user to enter values of x and n, calls the power to compute x to the power of n, and then displays the values returned by the function. Oh my gosh. Alright, this is going to be, I think, where we pick up tomorrow. Oh, the function's supposed to calculate the result? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you for making sure I fixed that. We would have gotten a partial credit. Professor would have marked that off. Professor would have marked that off. He said, "No, man, you didn't do it correctly. The power function did not return the Oh, we need a polynomial function. Right, so not a main function. So int compute poly, we'll say custom poly. Or, well, I don't know. We'll say compute poly given an x. We're going to do this. Int return this. Do we need to cast this to a type int, or will it all automatically be assumed by the int returned by the power function multiplied by an int value here? We don't need to say like int here like this, I don't think. So then if we say scanf, then we're going to do print f here to, we'll say result is equal to the %d that we're going to put in for, maybe this should be a long, because it might get pretty big if x is large. Well, 9, how big will it get if we put 9 in there? I don't know. We do specify specifically. Whatever. We might be getting too crazy. So we're going to do compute poly on x. Thanks, Go Ismail. Thanks so much. Keep grinding, brother. Appreciate you, dude. Thanks for coming in, my boy. Happy Waffle. What's going on? Saketh. Appreciate you, Kappa. What's going on? Thanks so much for joining me. Yeah, Res 1 on that last one, huh? Yeah, the int's pretty large for the 64 base int, right? Base 64 int, right? Okay, so we'll compute poly, and I think that'll be fine for that. So let's try. Oh, dang it! Didn't one-shot it. I got this. Yes. I love that sound. Ah, let's go. Nice. Let's try the 5 a.m. Make sure it's still working. Nice. All right, you guys. This was fun. This was fun. I appreciate you guys being here and joining me. We completed a good chunk, the first 3/4 of the Chapter 9 programming projects. Not too bad so far. The Chapter 8 programming projects are honestly harder than these ones so far. So I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. The Chapter 8 ones these ones were tough. If you want like good practice with arrays and indexing through arrays and stuff, go back through and do these Chapter 8 ones again, because it took us quite a few streams to get through these. We really worked through them, and were able to get the answers ourselves without much help. And so it was fun to do these ones, and we learned a lot about arrays and stuff. We still got a lot to learn. I still forget some stuff, but yeah, these ones were more tricky. These ones were just taking those old problems basically and throwing them into functions for their various parts. So if you do Python functions, it's honestly pretty easy to do this Chapter 9. It's not too bad. Someone warned me about Chapter 9 though. I think maybe they meant Chapter 8. Someone from chat a couple weeks ago was like, "Dude, when you get to Chapter 9, GG." I was like, "Oh crap, here we go." But so far, Chapter 9 is like cheese compared to Chapter 8. So thank you guys so much for being here and joining me today. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, Slow, Saketh. Thank you guys for being here. Everybody else, if you guys want to say goodbye, speak now, forever hold your peace. I object. What's the donkey say when he's getting thrown up there? I think he might have already. I can't remember. Man, the whole town's in there. I think he already might have said that. I do. Or I can't remember. Dang it. Choking. All right. Let's go ahead and push this up. Remember, guys, if you guys want to look at my all of my answers, it's free on my GitHub repo, link down below. You can also get more information on all my projects and coding, learning stuff in my Discord down below, completely for free. Everything's free so far. So make sure you take advantage of that if you're trying to learn. I find that it's really helpful to learn alongside someone that has the similar mindset to you. So if you're trying not to use AI too much to write code, but actually write code yourself and use AI very, very slightly to help polish up little gaps in your learning, but primarily learn from the book and from practice and just grinding through and really trying to understand where we went wrong. Yeah, this is the place to be. Or if you want to just do your homework on the side while I'm working on code, to have an environment to hold yourself accountable each night while you do your homework. Because I found when I was in college, it was hard, man, to come home after class when my friends were out. College is like everybody's out doing something after class. So it's like, am I really going to sit here and, it was tough. But I made a commitment to myself. I would go to the library almost every night after, I would hang out with people or whatever. I'd go to the library every night from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And then come home and go to bed. Or maybe not that late, but maybe 7 to 9 o'clock. I remember coming out, it was dark and cold every night. I was going there and grind out my microbiology lectures and homework, going over ribosomes and, mitochondria and all those craziness in the cells. We'll say, hold on. Yeah, we'll say continued chapter, or started chapter 9 programming projects. Cool. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. We'll bust out the last two tomorrow, number 8, 7, and 8. And then we'll also take a peek at maybe starting our first ever Next.js project. I've been really wanting to... we've been building kind of more full stack-ish projects, but really it's been very piecemeal. It's not been very established and full, because I mainly am losing a lot of passion for the projects. So I wanted to pick a subject matter that I'm actually really passionate about, and you guys know that I really like stocks. I give quite a lot of stock input in my Discord and my stocks channel thing that's in there, just about what I'm buying and selling and what I think is hot and what's not. Doing some analysis. So I really would like to build a site that really kind of conglomerates all of my scripts that I've written for, like, detecting volumes and abnormalities and potential, relative volumes and whatnot, and even more so, and have that be displayed in an online format so I can quickly access it and other people can access it. And maybe we could even monetize it to provide like more advanced statistics and calculations that we compute via, the models that we, educate ourselves on and whatnot, and through our various studies here, through MIT courses and all that stuff, to give people the most, just another view, just like another page in their book for their investing, right? It's not supposed to be like a buy and sell and trade platform. No, no, no. It's just like a way to get some more, statistical analysis on certain, ticker symbols via, maybe some stuff that on like options per se. I think that would be a great way to maybe provide some more niche data on options, as not many people really provide that information. Um, Plan on studying machine learning. Yeah, I've got on my bookshelf. I've been packing up because I'm actually moving out of this apartment. But on my bookshelf, I've got Python machine learning book that I've not yet read that we need to read eventually. I've just been really, honestly, my coding grind has slowed a little bit. I'll be honest. I've had quite a few life events take place the past month. It's been really, really crazy for me. Between it's just kind of like the timing of everything's really kind of like aligning for certain events to take place. More to come soon at the end of the month. Um, and, kind of growing up and making those next moves in my life to kind of get out of this kind of very high cost of living situation, kind of living alone here. I'm not really super happy with it, with the living situation, and I've been grinding it out for 4 years, and I'm kind of just burnt from it, and so we're trying to figure out situations for something else, and something might be coming along here, so more in the works. So, yes, we are in the works. Anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here. This was a good little study session. We did 2 hours today. Again, thank you so much for being here. This was C Programming, a Modern Approach, Chapter 9, Programming Projects. We have 2 more programming projects, then we are on to Chapter 10, Program Organization. So this is going to be actually a really good chapter for understanding how to lay out our programs in C and get some understanding of how it all works together. So see you guys tomorrow, where we'll continue.